Hello, Froggy here, and today I'll be showing you how to navigate the many branches of the Infinite Forest. From up here in the lighthouse, we can get a great view of everywhere we'll be going. In order to follow along, you'll need a Titan equipped for both sword flying and sparrow flying. Check the cards if you need help with those. This route is what finally pushed me up the hill to learning the art of sparrow flying. And thanks to Cheese Forever and Cloud L XXXV for giving me the final bits I needed to get that down. The gateway to the Infinite Forest only opens when an activity is open that merits it. It leads you to hallways that are scattered all around the outside of the map. The one for the adventure is right here. If you saw my previous video, when we did the glitch and came out through there, we could see another portal right around here. That one goes to Garden World, and we come out right about here in between them. When I do this glitch, I almost immediately head for this platform over here, because there's a bit of solid ground that lets you set a respawn point. But you want to not go too close to this edge, because that's actually where you land initially on Mercury. And if you go too close to that, it'll pull you into the map and you will have a very bad time. From here, you can actually see another portal up there. That is for the first campaign mission for Curse of Osiris. You can jump over to this platform, which is also solid, and drive your Sparrow to avoid having to fly that large distance. And right there is the end of that mission, where you come back through another portal. And right around here is where the final campaign mission is. This corner has a tree of probabilities. Thanks to Hacker Pide for helping me identify those ones using Darcy. And right here, well, I don't quite know what this one is. It might be like the holiday event ones? Anyways, you don't normally go there. Of course, I don't expect you to remember all of that. Here's a map that I prepared of the area. I'll leave a link to some images down below so you can pull those up at your leisure. But yeah, without further ado, let's go. You can dive all the way down here, and it's very satisfying to do. And, you can also die. And that actually is why I always set my spawn point. So you see, I'm back up here, and I don't have to do the long trek to get back here again. You could, of course, go directly for the portals, but make one mistake and you'll be trying to get the right offset again. Whee! Grab an adventure. Any'll do, but I like bugging the system for obvious reasons.
I'm reading bioenergy deep inside the forest.
Next, perform a quantum finisher. You'll want to check your offset. Do that by looking in this direction and jumping backwards. You see your contrails, crouch, and try again. This time we got teleported a bit further, and just to confirm, we don't see our contrails back there, so make your way over to the portal. At this point, we can walk through. As you can see, we are well outside of the hallways. And now we can pull out our Sparrow and start to fly. This cancels the glitch, and there is a lot of space below you, so if you mess up, you have a lot of time to recover. I actually spent a good deal of time here learning how to Sparrow Fly myself. It can be a bit of a lengthy process, but honestly, it's not too bad. So now I'm making my way over to the flat, safe area that I mentioned before. And here we are. You'll want to stay a bit away from the Mercury starting area to avoid the suction area of doom. With our spawn point set, we can continue along this path to get close to the first portal on our list, the first campaign mission. You'll have to Sparrow Fly across this small gap. You don't want to waste any sword ammo if you don't have to. I use this route when I go to the Beyond Infinity start or end portal. Those also happen to be the easiest portals to enter. Most towers you'll see will be intangible, so you don't really have to worry about colliding with them. In order to enter one of the Infinite Forest hallways, you'll want to gain a lot of altitude, and once you feel you're probably above it, you can drop down. I like using Code of the Missile to help land, as if you are off by a little bit, you can use it to guide yourself there, and it also kills your own momentum. You can always hit the load zone for the next area from the outside of the hallway, and if you die after hitting it, you'll spawn inside. But in the interest of time, I'll leave that for you to explore on your own. But in case you don't have the finisher, or you'd rather just watch someone else do it, I'll be uploading some supplemental videos. To get into the ending area of Beyond Infinity, we'll continue to the end of the platform we were just on. From here, we can just boost our Sparrow off of the end. You'll hit a turnback zone, but don't worry. As you're being pulled towards the structure, you'll have plenty of time to activate your super, safely land on the outside of the hallway. From here, it's a trivial matter to enter. For our next destination, we'll be getting to the Tree of Probabilities. It's the next area you would go during the campaign. We'll be starting from the center disk area. Now we just Sparrow Fly out to that point that was shown on the map. Most of these portals are below some terrain, so you can't see them until you get close. Normally, you would spot them by Sparrow flying low, then guessing about where you think they'd be and flying way above. But in this case, I've already done that. So you can see that there's a little white spot here. That's what our target's going to be. If you're too far to one side, there will be an invisible wall that prevents you from getting there. For most of these, you'll want to be on the inside of the map, so I might as well show you what that looks like for one of them. This is why we've brought our sword. You'll need to sword fly across the large chasm in between the two gates, because you won't have the benefit of the platforms that would normally spawn here. It's a marathon, not a race, so keep your sword flying steady and you should make it no problem. Next up is Garden World. You can either do this from when you first enter, in which case you have a short Sparrow flight, or you can do it from the respawn point. It just depends on whether you'd rather fly a long way or have to do the quantum finisher over again. For this one, the two landmarks are a in-cut corner in the terrain, and a slight raised patch that has a nice visible corner. You go a little bit past that, and then you drop. For the Omega mission, we'll once again be going from the circular area that we set our spawn point at. You just Sparrow Fly out, and this time around I'm going to show you what the process of finding these looks like. once we get somewhat close, we go ahead and we drop down. From here, we try to gauge about how far away we are from the portal. Then we cover the rest of that distance with the Sparrow, and drop down when we get close. Here my goal wasn't actually to reach it, just to see about where it is. My super isn't full, so I'm not going to be able to stick the landing here. And for the final location, the Unknown Forest. Skipping the adventure ones, because you probably already know how to get to them. So for this one, I undershoot a little bit. So you're probably going to want to go to the end of this little ridge and drop from there. Luckily, I had just enough time to make it. This Unknown Forest is not too big. You won't be able to really go anywhere. So we can explore the whole thing right now. If you look up front, there is some sort of structure with a statue. You can't actually get there, though. And there's also this partial portal-y looking thing. And it has a cousin on the other side here. If you jump towards the statue, you get an objective marker, which might just be a way back to patrol, but who knows. Now for some bonus clips. This is what happens if you go a bit too close to the end of one of the highways. And this is what happens if you stray too close to the bounds of the map. And this is what happens if you fly too close to the sun. Hopefully this has been useful. And stay tuned for the exploration videos of all of these locations. But until then, happy exploring!